And we are live. We are live. Today's going to be a really good show. I have been up since like 4 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't even sleep after I started this show. I got like 3 hours sleep last night. I'm really excited. Let's dive right into this. You're gonna love this. Good morning. Good morning. Now, look, when Trump got elected and started nominating people, they were just awful. I mean, they are just awful. They are. They're just the entire government. The Trump regime is shit. The entire thing. But when I said, look, when we talked about it, I said, look, the one silver lining you can take out of this is these people suck. I mean, they suck at their jobs. I mean, all of them suck at their, something we're probably going to end up talking in another show. Just like Pete Hegseth running his mouth about Ukraine. You've got Chairman Wicker running damage control for him, saying, well, he just made a rookie mistake. What he did was he basically said the United States is in partnership with Russia, and we're going to end the Ukraine war because we're going to carve up Ukraine. Yeah, our friends in Germany and France and the rest of Europe, they didn't like that very much. They didn't like that at all. They were pissed. And Germany in particular said, look, there's no such thing as a peace discussion that it doesn't involve Europe and Ukraine. So I don't give a shit what Trump is saying. I don't care. It doesn't matter. He can run his mouth all damn day. This war is in Europe. It is European soil. Shut the hell up. They've got a big, huge security conference going on right now in Munich this morning as we speak. Vance is there. Oh, my God, that's going to go freaking well. Vance is there. Marco Rubio was supposed to be there, but something really weird happened with him. He hopped in his plane last night to early yesterday morning to head over to Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. I forgot to say it. I was so busy. I forgot to say Happy Valentine's. Thank you. I love you people so much. I do. But he got about halfway over the Atlantic and turned around and came home. They said, well, we had a busted windshield. We had to do it. Yeah. They couldn't have fixed that plane in Europe. I mean, you flew all the way home. Yeah, no, something's not right there. I mean, they're just ham-handed and stupid about everything. They just are. And I told you, we Democrats have a bench. We do. We have a bench. And I get it. I know people have been stressing. They have been stressing. And that this whole operation by the Trump regime and the heritage, it was designed to make you feel that way. It was. The whole point of the 2025 project, hell, I told you before the election was they were going to do this. They were going to try to blitzkrieg everything. They weren't going to follow norms, which they haven't. They tried to do everything by executive order. But I kept telling everybody that was in full freakout mode, relax. This sucks. I know it sucks. I know the things they're doing sucks. But these people are freaking idiots. They are. The way they're doing things is against the law. They're going to lose. It's just going to take time. I know you don't like it. I don't like it. But it is. They're getting their asses handed to them in court. They are. And while that is going on, The fools can't help but be fools. And folks, I'm telling you, we Democrats have a bench. We really do. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. 1 second, let me pull this up for you. This is Congressman Robert Garcia. The other day, they were holding a oversight hearing on Doge. This is my man, Robert Garcia. Comes off the bench swinging. You guys are going to love this.
Now, I find it ironic, of course, that our chairwoman, Congresswoman Green, is in charge of running this committee. Now, in the last Congress, Chairwoman Green literally showed a dick pic in our oversight congressional hearing. So I thought I'd bring one as well. Now, this, of course, we know is President Elon Musk. He's also the world's richest man. He was the biggest political donor in the last election. He has billions of dollars in conflicts of interest. And we know that he is leading a power grab, also abided by and encouraged by Donald Trump and, of course, the chairwoman, Congresswoman Green. But I also want to run through what Doge actually is going to do. It's a demolition plan that's going to run through our government. Doge is trying to abolish the Department of Education. That means opportunities denied to kids. It means you're ripping away opportunities for children.
He does a great job there running through this. He really does. He does a good job there. But just the point I wanted to make there for you to take away is Representative Garcia came out swinging. Yeah. And they're going to keep kicking the shit out of them because they're idiots. They're idiots at everything they do. And the press who has been the corporate media that has been working on behalf of the Republicans are having to defend this, and they ain't digging it, man. They aren't liking it. They're looking like fools. And I got to tell you, this fight is ours to lose. They're going to hand us literally dump trucks of ammunition. And that's what we're going to talk about in the show today. That's what we're talking about. Anyways, so this is how the press tries to handle it. And I just went great. I'm telling you, we've got a deep bench here.
I want to hear why, but do you think that calling Elon Musk a dick is effective messaging for confronting what is a potentially irreversible transformation of the U.S. government?
Well, he is a dick. And I think he's also harming the American public in an enormous way. And what I think is really important and what the American public want.
My man. Oh, man. Do you think she saw that coming? Do you think she saw that coming? I think she thought she had her gotcha moment. Yeah. Yes, more of that, please. More of that, please. Look, folks, they're just going to freaking blow it. They really are. They're just going to hand us more and more and more ammunition. We're finding out about their budget bill that they're trying to remember. We've got a big reconciliation fight that's coming up, and the Republicans are trying to put the most vulnerable on the chopping block. They're going to try to cut Medicaid. They are. They're going to try to cut Medicaid. And what are they going to cut Medicaid for? I mean, the most vulnerable folks, if you don't understand Medicaid, the difference between Medicaid and Medicare, Medicaid helps the most vulnerable among us. I mean, you've got to be in some pretty rough straits to end up on Medicaid. And it's $880 million that they're planning on cutting. And there's no place and we'll talk about it a little bit. They're trying to spin it a little bit, but we're going to put that to bed here in a minute too. Thanks for the support, Vulcan Bastards. I appreciate it. Good news. We are bigger, better, faster, smarter, stronger, longer. Act like it. That's right. That is right. Amen, brother. Amen. And I got to tell you, they handed us a big one today. They did. But let's finish talking about what they want to cut Medicaid and Medicare for. Yeah, kind of hard to ignore this when they're talking about cutting $880 million worth of health care for the poorest and most vulnerable among us. What do they want to do? Well, they want to give tax cuts to Johnny Got Rocks. That is their plan. I mean, that is in writing. They want to keep giving tax cuts to billionaires. And of course, they want to give $400 million to Elon Musk to build armored Tesla Cybertrucks. Yeah. Well, they figured out that was a bad look, with everything they're doing and everything that they're cutting. It was a bad look. So they actually rewrote that bill, and it was called the Armored Tesla Cybertruck bill. So they've actually taken that out. U.S. plan to award $400 million vehicle contract removes reference to Musk's Tesla. They renamed it. I mean, it's still the Tesla Cybertruck bill, and they're still wanting to hand $400 million to Elon Musk while he's doing things like, I don't know, starving children. We've had our first confirmed fatality from USAID being shut down. A 71-year-old woman in Asia that was kicked out of the goddamn hospital that she was being treated in, died because of Elon Musk. So they can give him a $400 million contract to make worthless, useless, armored cyber trucks that they're supposed to use for transport security. And it's garbage. It's garbage. $880 million they're going to cut out of Medicaid. And get this. If you think the corporate media is done trying to shill for them, you're crazy. I want you to read this. This is from Newsweek. This is what they said. They said that was false. They fact-checked it and said it was false. I want you to read what they said. Okay, they're ruling false, despite Rep. Kogan talking about his assertion that House Republicans are looking to cut $880 billion from Medicaid. The budget resolution does not ever specifically outline cuts to Medicaid in that amount. Right. They didn't, I'll give them that. They didn't write cut $880 billion from Medicaid. They didn't write that. They just did the next thing. Instead of it proposes the cut target for the Energy and Commerce Committee to oversee across their many programs, while Medicaid makes up, now pay attention to this next part, while Medicaid takes up a bulk of that spending, the cuts could also be spread across energy and climate programs. Like that's better. The Federal Communications Commission, Food and Drug Safety, and more. It's Medicaid. None of those other programs come anywhere near the $880 billion. It's Medicaid. But they're saying it's false because they didn't write it down on a piece of paper, with a picture of an evil villain twisting his mustache saying, cut Medicaid. They admit it themselves. Medicaid is the bulk of the funding. It is where the cuts will have to come from. But here they are carrying water and saying bullshit. If you've got 5 bills on your desk, and I tell you got to cut $1,000 from your budget, and 4 of those bills add up to $100, you're probably cutting that 5th bill, right? That 5th bill that actually will make up the difference. See how that works there, folks? You see how that works? How the corporate media will openly lie and shill for this administration. Folks, don't ever let them tell you what you're seeing with your own eyes. Their own words aren't there. The only place to get those cuts is Medicaid. And they know it, and they knew it when they wrote that piece of shit. That's why they wrote it the way they wrote it. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And yeah, we're going to sit there and we're going to break out the fatback and we're going to beat fatback out and we're going to beat the shit out of them for the next 4 freaking years. And we're going to make them pay in every single election because we're going to hold up starving children. We're going to hold up the other cuts that are coming. Oh, by the way, what's not in the budget proposal? Well, darn it, they just didn't get around to not taxing tips. Tips are still taxed. Sorry, they're still going to tax your tips. None of the bullshit promises. Do you remember the shows? You folks, a lot of you folks are regulars here. All the promises they kept making. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut tips. I'm going to cut taxes for that. None of them are in their budget. None. But they do eliminate all foreign aid. Let babies starve. They do cut. Forgive me. They do cut Medicaid for the poorest, among us. They do that. They do that. I mean, it's not like we could afford to do that. I mean, because we have to send $400 million to the richest man on earth to let him take his shitty truck that he can't sell and sell it to the government. Does that sound like corruption to you? I mean, is that not what corruption looks like? I'm asking you. I don't know, folks. I mean, is that not what corruption looks like? Or does it look like this? I mean, you remember, Governor Abbott was working with Trump to drum up that whole immigration thing, even though it was bullshit, even though we talked about over and over and over again, immigrants contribute more to the economy and more in taxes than they end up costing us, even though the crime statistics are lower for immigrants. You had old Greg Abbott down here, man, just every damn day. It was one thing after another. And then he started bussing people all over the country, bussing them up to New York. Well, New York has its own immigration issues. Remember, it's on the coast. It's got its own immigration issues to deal with. So Greg Abbott, because he cannot govern a southern border state, made his southern border state problems an eastern coastal state's problem and started busing people up to New York City. Well, the grown-ups in the room said, okay, New York, they're there. Let's deal with it. Let's fix the problem. We will send you FEMA money to help absorb the costs. And then Donald Trump did this. He took it back. The Republicans created this problem. Greg Abbott shipped the people up there. FEMA reimbursed New York City for all the expenditures that they were incurring just to be the grown-ups in the room. That's what we do. Pay the bills, right? You don't just let problems fester. Donald Trump took it back. And he took it back after some of it was already spent, causing New York to have an overdraft and pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. They didn't tell anybody they were taking it back. They just took it back. I mean, it's not like Donald Trump isn't the deadbeat president that's spent his entire professional career reneging on his debts. But no, I mean, it doesn't end there. Look, this is the weather for Huntsville, Alabama. This is the weather for Huntsville, Alabama. And I know what you're thinking, Paul, why the hell am I looking at the weather for Huntsville, Alabama? It's a bit cold. Lows in the 20s. They're going to have one semi-warm day tomorrow. Then they're back in the 20s into a hard freeze like the rest of the South. It's going to be a high of 27 on Thursday. I wonder what that is going to do to electric bills in Huntsville, Alabama. Hell, what's it doing to everybody's electric bill? Well, we have programs in place so that, again, the poorest, most vulnerable, the elderly don't die in the wintertime because they can't pay high electric bills. We have programs to subsidize power companies so they can afford to, I don't know, not cut people's electric bills off when it's a high of 27 degrees outside. Yeah, that shit ain't free. E.T., my man, thank you for the support. According to Reuters, Musk operating gas turbines in data centers in Tennessee without permits to operate them. Musk is climbing more than yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I mean, it's everywhere. They're handing us, it's like freaking the political Christmas. It's freaking political Christmas. If you're a political strategist, these morons doing this stuff is like political freaking Christmas. But why are we talking about Huntsville, Alabama? Because, you know, we're in the find out phase for those broke ass people that wanted to vote for Donald Trump that aren't getting their break on tips. You know, they're still getting taxed on their tips. Well, that's not all that's happening. Huntsville, Alabama has a metropolitan power company, and the power company, based on what money that they had allocated to them, have a rebate program where they apply credits to poor people's bills because their bills, their electric bills, their power bills are spiking. And guess what? Your average American can't afford a $600 emergency. So your poorest Americans can't afford a bump in their electric bill. So to keep people from freezing to death, we do stuff like this. You know, we subsidize their electric bill. Linda Hoxa, thank you for the support. When I was 53, I spent 4 months in a nursing home. Maryland Medicaid paid every last cent of it. Sometimes people who work for a living need Medicaid. Indeed, this is true of people working for Walmart. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not a freaking welfare program. It's not paying people to not work. It's when people that work end up in the health crisis, Medicaid steps in. But again, just like what's going on in Huntsville, it is the most vulnerable amongst us. Trump signs an executive order, takes the money back. So now the power company who's issued all these credits not only are not able to lower people's electric bills, their electric bills went back up because it's cold outside because there's no subsidy. They're having to take the money back. They're having to put $100 fees in everybody's freaking electric bill to get the money back. Because again, they didn't do this legally. They didn't do this with any warning. No, they're thieves in the night. They just took the money back that was already allocated that other people already spent. Alabama. Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations. That's Trump. That is Trump. But that's not our main story. Our main story, I keep telling you folks, they're morons. Everything they do, they are morons. And there's going to be more stories and more stories and more stories and more stories. You hear it. You've heard it. It's farmer after farmer after farmer. You know, the Inflation Reduction Act, there were contracts in there for farmers to do modifications to lower their costs, to lower your grocery bills. And Trump just took the money back, leaving these farmers in a lurch. A lot of them are going to lose their damn farms. You know, you got a lot of veterans that voted for Trump. Well, Trump just fired every probationary employee that works for the federal government in almost every department. If you're a new hire in the federal government, you know, the federal government has rollover. You have people that retire all the time. They've got to fill those jobs. So we're not talking about like new dumbasses. We're talking about people they're bringing in that are young talent into our government. He just fired them. Why? Because contractually he could. Everybody's still in their probationary period, no matter how critical they were. Folks, the people that manage our timber industry, I don't know, forest fires, inflation, you know, building material costs, fired. 3,400 of them fired. Just fired. And there's going to be story after story after story after story where this kind of ham-handed stupidity, and it's gotten so bad. I mean, it has gotten so bad that even Steve Bannon is like, there's a lot of MAGA on Medicaid. Maybe we shouldn't be stupid about this. But they are. They are. They have been dying to screw poor people forever. It's who they are. And again, just politically, just talking politically. Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. But if you're a Democrat and you've been busting your ass forever, taking care of people, you got to admit, there's a little schadenfreude there. A little bit of schadenfreude. When you've been busting your ass to keep stuff like this from happening. You ain't been out there with Johnny Got Rocks and the Republicans getting the large yes from the tax cuts and the here, let me take you on a junket so that you can deregulate this for me and this, that. No. Republicans or Democrats been out there making it happen for everyday Americans and getting no love for it. None whatsoever. Every freaking idiot you talk to on social media right now, every damn idiot out there is the Democrats need to do this and the Democrats need to do that and the Democrats need to do. Well, they've been doing it for you forever. But, you know, before this last election, when we were begging you to turn your ass out and vote, all you could do was talk shit about Democrats. Oh, you got to admit, there's a little bit of schadenfreude that some of this is happening. Jason Ray. My worry is Trump starts conditioning every dollar on vocal loyalty, even down to individuals. He's already doing that. And like media, they bend the knee, then we toast. Ford Motor Company, he's already doing it. Ford Motor Company, you talk about some schadenfreude right there. Ford Motor Company, oh my God. They are in full freaking freak out mode. They're like, but we gave you $1 million and a whole fleet of cars for your inauguration. You weren't supposed to do this to us. Ford just told their investors, we can't survive a 25% aluminum and steel tariff. We can't. It'll bankrupt us. Yeah, that's really happening. That is really happening. One of those black jobs will be making them rake the forest. No, sir, there ain't nobody to do it. They're firing everybody. Firing everybody. Ford Motor Company is in full freak out mode. We're going to talk about that in the next show, but yeah. Right now, let's talk about this. Let's talk about some more ammunition that they're handing us. To understand exactly what's going on, you got to understand the players. This is Danielle Sassoon. She just resigned in protest from the Department of Justice. She was appointed by Donald Trump. You remember right before the election, a bunch of U.S. attorneys resigned because the Republicans said, we're going to go after you people. We're going to try to criminally attack you people for doing your job, for holding people, you wanted to hold our billionaires accountable for what they did. To hell with you. And so a bunch of them just resigned. Danielle Sassoon was appointed by Trump to fill the position up in New York, the U.S. Attorney's position up in Southern District of New York, up in Manhattan. And she is, I mean, as far as Republicans go, she's got all the boxes checked. She is as Republican gets. They cannot point the fingers at Democrats and say, "Oh, Democrat, she's a Democrat and she's just out to get. She got Trump derangement syndrome." None of that flies. None of that flies. She clerked for Harvey Wilkinson. J. Harvey Wilkinson. That's this guy. Now, I could have probably found you a better, more flattering picture of J. Harvey Wilkerson, but I hate this son of a bitch, and I don't want to do it. He's another Alito. He's another Sam Alito. He is freaking gross as far as his rulings are concerned. Anything that, all of these sick, disgusting Republican, they like to talk about lawfare. Well, their lawfare, their attacks on everything from abortion to that sorry bastard was A-okay with it, man. Let me sign off on it. She was his clerk. And if I realize you have no idea who he is and why I dislike him so much, but you probably know who this guy is. Danielle Sassoon was one of Antonin Scalia's last clerks before he died. Yeah, she's a Scalia clerk. That's how red this chick is. This is not, you can't say, oh, them Democrats, she got Trump derangement syndrome and all that. No, man, she's appointed by Trump and she is dyed in the wool Republican. And they can't even say she's incompetent either. Because, man, when the government needed a prosecutor to go after this guy, you remember this guy? You're talking about billions of dollars on the line when they went after Sam Bankman-Fried. When they needed somebody to stand up and not screw up during the cross-examination of Sam Bankman-Fried, they called Danielle Sassoon. So she's not a moron, and she and I would never sit down and break bread or drink beers. We are on opposite sides of the universe. She just resigned in protest. Just resigned in protest. She didn't just resign. We've got the Valentine's massacre on our hands. 6 career Republican right-wing prosecutors have resigned from the Trump DOJ because they've got a case that they know is a slam dunk criminal case against Eric Adams. And they were told, kill it. Kill it. They got a corruption case against Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, and they were told, kill it. And they all said, no. Stick with me. I'll explain why Donald Trump is trying to kill a case against the Democratic. Well, he's not really a Democrat. He's one of those turncoat Democrats that, like pretends to be a Democrat, but then turns out to be a Republican, Trump ass kisser. That's Eric Adams. That's Eric Adams. He is technically a Democrat, but he is not a Democrat. And we're going to get into that. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Dirk. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. All right. That is Danielle Sassoon. This is Emil Bove. You got to know the people involved to understand everything. So stick with me, okay? Stick with me and hit that thumbs up button. All right. We talked about a dick pic early in the thing. So the YouTube AI is going to intentionally try to crush this. You got to counter that with the thumbs up button, man. It's the only way we're going to get people to see this, and they need to see it. Jason Ray, Sam Bankman-Fried was lamb to the slaughter, Patsy, to show justice. No, he wasn't. He was a fucking crook. He was a crook. That guy, my guy, no, he was not a lamb to the slaughter. That guy, they had billions of dollars and did no accounting. None. Just piss money away. That guy was a criminal. Barbara Lanke, why isn't Adams being impeached? We're going to get to that, Barbara. We are. We're going to get to that. We are. That's a good part of the story. We're going to get to that. So this is the other person you got to know about. This is Emil Bove. What a name, right? Emil Bove. Now, this is going to blow your mind. This guy, Emil Bove, yeah, he was Trump's attorney. Remember, I keep telling you, they're freaking morons, and they keep putting morons in positions. So yeah, we're going to be able to fight this stuff. Yes, terrible things are going to happen, but most of it, we're going to be able to fight because they really suck at their job. And on top of it, we're going to kick the shit out of them because their teams always suck at their job. Emil Bove, this picture with Donald Trump, Emil Bove is the lawyer that worked with Todd Blanche and got Donald Trump 34 felony convictions. That's where that picture's from. When he was Trump's lawyer when he got convicted on 34 felony counts in Manhattan. This guy's not a winner. And to top it all off, he is almost the exact same age as Danielle Sassoon. I mean, can you believe these two are she's like 38, he's like 42, 43. She's 38, 39. She's aging gracefully. I'll give her that much. She is. But this guy's only like 42 years old, man. AJC, yeah, keep up the great work. Thank you. I appreciate it. Fuck Donald Trump. Amen, brother. Amen. Yeah, Wayne. I'm not even kidding. She's 38, 39. I couldn't find an exact date. I found 2 dates for her birth date. She's either 38 or 39 years old. He's only 42. But this is Emil Bove, okay? To know who Emil Bove is, you got to know what he does and who he works for and all of this. He started at the Department of Justice working for the Southern District of New York. And to understand that story, you've got to know who this guy is. Exiled billionaire Guo Wing-Wu found guilty on federal charges. Who the hell is Guo Wing-Wu? Well, this is who Guo Wing-Wu is. You remember when old Steve Bannon got busted on the yacht, the Chinese billionaire's yacht? Remember when they went to arrest Steve Bannon? You know, he ended up going to jail. When they arrested him, he was out cruising on some Chinese billionaire's yacht. That was Guo Wengwu's yacht. They're tight, man. They're tight. They are tight. Nice boat, too. Nice boat. Really nice yacht. Why is that relevant? Well, the investigation into Guo Wengwu came through the Southern District of New York, where, if you remember what I just told you like 30 seconds ago, is where Emil Bove worked as an AUSA. Right? Fast forward to Guo Wengwu's trial, and the prosecutors had to try to get Guo Wengwu's attorney removed. Why? Well, after working at the DOJ, Emil Bove went into private practice before he ended up with, he ends up finally working with Blanche and Trump. Before that, yeah, he went from being the investigators of Guo Wengwu to his defense attorney. Slight conflict of interest there, wouldn't you think? You can't really do that, right? His defense was, well, we were investigating him for these crimes, and then what he's being prosecuted for that I'm defending him for, well, that was just another, it was same office, but it was another investigation. What? No. That's who this guy is. That's Emil Bove. Okay? Now the third player, Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams. Eric Adams has a big Johnny Got Rocks donor. I told you, he's not a real Democrat. He's a turncoat. It's a Trump sucker. But he's got this big donor out in Long Island and runs shopping malls. And that donor throws him a big party to raise money. And a bunch of people, a bunch of super rich people make donations. Well, all of a sudden, people that work at this guy's malls start getting handed cash. And they're like, what the hell, boss? What's this for? Well, you made a political donation to Eric Adams. What? Folks, that's illegal. It's called a straw donation. I cannot just go find some guy I like and get around the donation limits by making donations in my name, your name, my neighbor's name, everybody's name. Everybody made donations. No, they didn't. You did, Johnny Got Rocks. You made the donations. Then you turned around and you handed your employees cash to reimburse them for the donations you claimed they made. They've got video evidence of this. They were dumb enough to videotape the party. Right? This is a slam dunk. This is not a complicated crime. And Danielle Sassoon has him nailed to the frickin' wall. They've already got indictments. Enter Emil Bove. Uncle Russ, I love the shows. Please hit the thumbs up button. Enter. Thanks, Uncle Russ. I appreciate you, man. Enter Emil Bove. Now, what does Emil Bove have a habit of doing, apparently? Well, he sits down with Eric Adams' attorney. Let me introduce you to Alex Spiro. This is Eric Adams' attorney, Alex Spiro. Now, this is going to blow your freaking mind. Emil Bove sits down with Alex Spiro. Now, Emil Bove is now working for Trump as Trump's number 2 in the Department of Justice. Assistant Attorney General. I shit you not. He is number 2 at the Department of Justice. One step below Pam Bondi. Sits down with Alex Spiro and says, you know what? Eric Adams, we really like you now. We being Bove and Bondi and Trump and those folks. They really like him now. Why do they like him? Because he went along with Trump's immigration bullshit. He was a one-man talking point for Trump about immigration. Every made-up bullshit lie, from they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, every time they needed a criminal to hold up. Remember, immigrants don't commit crime at the same rates as people that, your normal citizens. They commit less crime. But the narrative had to be for the dummies, for the stupids, to justify. Thanks for the support, guys. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Magdalene. I appreciate you. So to justify the whole immigration thing, you got Eric Adams up there, just who's a running talking point. Thanks, Rich. I appreciate you, brother. And Trump loves him for it. Absolutely loves him for it. So Emil Bove, Trump's number 2, sits down with Alex Spiro and do this. They sank their own case. Yeah. They came up with this contorted, weird. I mean, every lawyer that I've heard talk about this is like, what? This is bullshit. What? And came up with this contorted excuse to drop the charges. You heard that right. Emil Bove sat down with Eric Adams' defense attorney and came up with a convoluted bullshit scheme to drop the charges. Meanwhile, Danielle Sassoon says, Pam Bondi, I got a letter for you. This whole Eric Adams thing? Well, the criming's getting worse. We found evidence. We've got actual evidence. We're going to amend the indictment. We're going to charge him with more shit because we've caught him. We have evidence. We caught him in a criminal conspiracy telling people to lie and try to cover up what we've already indicted him for. Now, keep in mind, folks, just like Watergate, it's never the crime. Do you know what? Do you want to know what the punishment is for a straw donation? You pay it back. And maybe if you've been a really, really bad boy or girl, that's it. This is the stupidest shit in the world. He enters into a felony criminal conspiracy to cover up something that he wouldn't even had to really resign over. You pay a fine. You pay it back. I mean, that's it. So when Emil Bove is sitting there working with Alex Spiro to come up with this convoluted excuse to drop the charges, Danielle Sassoon is finding more charges. Sends a letter to Pam Bondi and says, look, we're going to amend the indictment. And the word comes down from Emil Bove. No, you will drop this. You will drop the indictment. This is political lawfare. Danielle Sassoon said, no, it's not. It's just a crime. And we don't put politics into our You know, kind of like the old school, the shit that we used to believe like 4 weeks ago. Like 4 weeks ago, we used to believe this. Prosecutors don't engage in politics one way or the other. It's just a crime. Dalai Lama's tea. Thank you for the support, my brother. Brother, have you seen the video, Dark Gothic MAGA, how tech billionaires plan to destroy America? I haven't seen that video. Email it to me, man. Email me a link to, or at least tell me where it is. I'll go find it. She puts all the puzzle pieces together. The chaos is all planned, and we should all be concerned. No, I haven't seen that one, man. I haven't seen that one. So you following me here? The same guy that went from being the investigator of Guo Wengu ends up being the defense attorney for Guo Wengu is the same guy who is the number 2 at the Department of Justice that is working with the attorneys for Eric Adams to throw out the case. And the career prosecutor said, no. We don't do that. We're not making politics part of this. It's a crime. I can prove the crime. I've indicted him. I've gotten an indictment. And Emil Bove went out and wrote this psychopathic letter where he just, makes these outrageous claims that, well, you just presented a one-sided case to get your indictment. And hello? You ever heard the expression, you can indict a ham sandwich? You can indict a ham sandwich. You know why? Because when they go to a grand jury, they believe they have a case and they present that case to the grand jury. They don't go to grand juries and say, we think this guy's innocent. Let me tell you why I think he's innocent. You don't go to the grand jury if you think they're innocent. No one goes to a grand jury and says, let me tell you why I think this guy's an upstanding individual. Oh, Texas Paul, he's a wonderful freaking guy. I love this guy. Let me just waste your time, call you in for jury duty so I can just tell you why I think you're great. No. If you're going to a grand jury, you're going because you've got a case, a criminal case against somebody. And Emil Bove wrote this psychotic letter accepting her resignation because she resigns in protest. And then they try to pass the buck on to get somebody else to kill the case. Nope. Somebody else to kill the case. Nope. It is just like when they fired Archibald Cox for Watergate and keep going through till they got Robert Bork. And y'all remember Robert Bork? Would finally do the firing. Finally, fire Archibald Cox. So yeah. Oh, I love that you folks have seen this. Yeah. Trump says, oh no, she didn't quit. She was fired. She was fired. And Trump's attorneys are like, oh my freaking God. Oh my God. This is going to blow back on us so freaking hard already because we've got Emil Dumbfuck Bove over here writing psychotic letters, putting his fingerprints all over everything instead of letting her resign and just, oh no, they got to run their mouths, man. Emil Bove writes it all down in like a 4, 5, 6 page letter and just categorizes all of their thinking and everything. They get to Trump. Now, Trump could have said, I don't know nothing, which is what he tries to say in the beginning, which is what they coached him to say. Thanks, Joseph. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support. Which is what they coached him to say in the beginning. When the reporters asked him about her resignation, he's like, I don't even know who this person is. I don't know. But he can't help himself. He can't help himself. I don't know who she is, but I fired her. I fired her. She was fired. Thanks, dude. Thanks for letting us take this entire investigation all the way to the frickin' White House, man. Appreciate it, bud. Appreciate it, you ignorant moron. Tiger Claw, thank you for the support, brother. But yeah, it just keeps getting better and better and better. I mean, you've got her letter documented to Pam Bondi. They're going to expand the investigation, not get rid of it. Then you've got Emil Bove, who used to be a prosecutor. I mean, this guy prosecuted people for January 6th. Used to be a prosecutor. Let me tell you, this is going to blow up. This is going to blow up. It is way beyond just the press giving it a couple headlines and going away. Way beyond that. Way beyond that. Look, I've told you this before. FBI agents, they're not liberals. They're not. They tend to be very conservative. Very, very conservative. They just do. They take this shit personally. And they're pissed. They are pissed. And they are documenting. They are, I mean, this is really going on. Ryan Riley here is a reporter for CBS who's been doing the background, the legwork on this, talking to FBI agents about it, talking to people, and he's like, this is the quote. He goes, "I, along with other career FBI and DOJ personnel that I have spoken with, really have one message for him," talking about Emil Bove, "and that is, go fuck yourself, traitor." Yeah. Do you think maybe they're keeping notes? Do you think maybe this is going to come back to haunt them in the future? Because they ain't digging this. These people that resigned, they're not cool with it. I mean, they've got options. Don't get me wrong. These are all talented people. They're all going to go get jobs in the private sector. Every one of them. They're all going to be fine. But they're not going to forget. You think these FBI agents are going to forget that have been making this case? Have you ever like given a dog a toy and then like tried to yank it away from him? That's what it's like when you try to kill a special agent's case. They take that shit personally. And that's exactly what's going on. And it's going on. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees exactly why it's going on. Why is Eric Adams worth it? Why is he sitting on Fox News with Tom Homan? Why is he worth all this to Trump? Because this is not going away, folks. If we can do our job and we can give the Democrats power, we've got a special election coming up on April 1st. If we can give the Democrats the House back between the special elections and the midterms, which is highly likely by midterms, but even just the special elections, we can have Speaker Hakeem Jeffries. This goes straight to investigations. And the Donald Trump administration that you see writing all these executive orders and all that shit stops. And all these people that think that they're going to get away with this and be protected by Donald Trump, oh yeah, they run for the woods. Oh yeah. Thanks for the support, LC. I appreciate you. They run for the woods. Democrats will beat the shit out of Donald Trump for the next 4 years with this. And this is why Trump thinks it's worth it. Trump has to keep the bigotry going for his base. He has to. Because he's also hurting his base. Hello, electric bills in Alabama, farmers that voted for him. TikTok is flooded with the "I regret my vote" videos. And it's just going to get worse because they are pandering to the broligarchs, man. They're giving them every radical, weird, freaking wet dream. What do you think's going to happen to Trump's base when they decimate Medicaid? I mean, Democrats are going to shut down the government. They're going to do everything they can to protect it. But I'm going to be here to show you when Elon Musk picks up that $400 million check, and I'm going to show you exactly how much they get to cut from poor people. I ain't letting this go. We're going to keep doing this. Thanks for the support. I appreciate you, Blue Mountain. Thank you, Jeremy Breeden. I appreciate you. So what's the deal that makes Eric Adams worth it? Well, this is happening. This is happening. What did old Texas Paul tell you about the immigration thing? I said, yes, it's going to suck. Yes, they're going to do terrible things. But Johnny Gotrocks needs his immigrants. He needs them out there picking crops. The Resnicks out in California need them picking their pomegranates, man. They need them. They're a huge part of the agricultural industry. And everybody's going to be telling them, don't touch mine. Don't touch mine. So I told you, this whole they're going to deport 20 million people ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. They're like, well, they're opening up Gitmo. Well, that's a distraction. They're hoping that takes up the headlines. They're trying desperately right now to bait Democrats into fighting over Gitmo. So they can tell their bigot people, oh, look, we're deporting them. We're hurting them like you want us to hurt them. You wanted us to hurt them brown people. We're hurting them. But them Democrats, man, that's all they care about. And look at all the pain you're suffering. Look at all the pain you're suffering. Well, we didn't do that. Democrats did that. They're the president right now. The Democrats did that to you. Don't pay no attention. Pay attention to your bigotry. Pay attention to your bigotry. Well, it ain't going to work if nobody's getting deported. They're not anywhere near the numbers. They're already reshuffling the deck, trying to find people to blame. They're not making it. So if you ain't going to make it, fake it. Fake it. And how do you fake immigration busts? You go find immigrants that are already in the system, that have already been busted, that are already scheduled after they serve their prison time to be deported. You know, the system, it's already set up. Thanks for the support, man. I appreciate you. You go find those people, and instead of letting the system do what it was going to do, which is keep criminals in jail, you send ICE into Rikers. Imagine that. ICE did a big investigation and found immigrants that have already been arrested, prosecuted, that everybody knows are immigrants, that are already in custody, and took them into custody. So that Tom Homan and Eric Adams can go on Fox News and talk about all the terrible criminals that they're deporting because immigration is awful. It's awful. And that's all them Democrats like. They don't like you, my fellow bigoted white people. They don't like you. They just like the brown people. Yeah, they're really doing that. And Eric Adams is really helping them do it. Cecile Kazemi, Trump loves the poor and the poorly educated, but still wants his effing tomatoes and avocados. Amen. Amen. Very well put. Very well put. That's really the play, folks. That's really what makes Eric Adams worth it. He is working on this bullshit narrative with Trump that cannot find the criminals because what? What did Texas Paul tell you? They ain't there. There's just not that many immigrant criminals. So what did they do? They're going to try to go to the prisons to have ICE arrest everybody that's been arrested already. So the stupidest among us will say, woo, look what old Trump did. Look what Trump did. Yeah, I'm not even bullshitting you. I'm not even bullshitting you. You saw the headline yourself. That is exactly what they're doing. And Eric Adams is more than happy to play along. Good news is he's not going to survive this. See, even though Trump is in broad daylight going to put his thumb on the scale and he's going to get his prosecution killed. Emil Bove already said he's going to do it. He's going to do it. They've been going through people. They're going to find their Robert Bork. They are. They're going to find their Robert Bork that will do it for them. And then they're going to hope this goes away, and it's not going to go away. You know why? Because the Democrats. Everybody's like, what are the Democrats doing? Do something. They are. They are. Kathy Hochul up in New York is killing it. She is killing it. Look at what she's done with the special election. Look what she's doing with this. See, Kathy Hochul, she can fire Eric Adams. She can. And in fact, a lot of people are screaming for her to do it. Now, no smoke towards Tristan Snell here. I like Tristan Snell. I do. But I just want to point out that even the best among us are saying stupid shit. Dear Governor Kathy Hochul, it's time. You have the power to remove Eric Adams from office as New York City mayor. True, she does. Take a stand and stand up for cleaning up corruption in New York. Remove Adams now. Sincerely a New Yorker. To which old Texas Paul is screaming, no, do not remove him now. And I know you got to be thinking, Paul, are you crazy? This guy's a sleazebag. What are you talking about? Please trust that the Democrats know what the fuck they're doing. If she removes him now, it immediately triggers a special election. A special election that this asshole is going to win. Yeah. You think this guy went away just because he was humiliated in a sex scandal? Oh, no. He doesn't have that kind of humility. He wants to be mayor of New York City again. Yeah. And we talked about special elections. We talked about that. They're designed to help those that are in power. It is a very short window. So those that are already established and already have power, you can't bring somebody in from the outside that's decent. You can't. They don't win special elections. It's hard. You've got to have, I don't know, an amazing backlash to make a difference. So Kathy Hochul knows. If you folks can stomach it to March 27th, on March 27th, she will pick up the phone and she will call Eric Adams and tell him, get the fuck out. Why March 27th? Why? Because if she does it within 90 days of a primary election, no special election. No special election. And Mario Cuomo doesn't have an inside track to the job. He's still going to try. Don't get me wrong. But it gives a better candidate at least a shot. So we don't end up looking like the Democrats that are just the same old guys. So pretty please, all over social media right now, they're screaming, all the people that don't know shit about politics, don't know shit about elections, have never gotten anybody elected. Never. Same dumbasses that were talking shit about Democrats before the election are talking shit about Democrats now. Folks, just because you don't know doesn't mean it ain't happening. Smart decisions, like exactly the long game. The long game. Exactly. Just because you think Democrats in the legislature aren't doing anything, oh, they are. They are. They are working to make these Republicans pay in this budget fight. Hakeem Jeffries, I'm telling you, that dude is one steely, cold son of a bitch. He is. But, you know, he does the typical, you know, it's going to be okay. God is still here. We're still the same people. Tweet. And everybody, look at him. Look at him. Democrats aren't doing nothing talking about God. We don't need God. We need Democrats to act. They are. They are. But they're not just doing what, you know, people like Tristan Snell wants them to do, which would be dumb. They're fighting, folks. I need you fighting. Omniscius Sphinx, Catfish Jr., when the Democrats take back the House, how fast will we see the rats start turning? My guy, it is going to be between when the election results are coming out that evening and that morning sun comes up, they will already be jumping off the ship. Already. That's what you get if you put Democrats back in charge in the House. And we can do it on April 1st. Just a few weeks away. Folks, this is mid-February. February, March, April. April 1st. It's like 6 weeks. Creek Dreamer 62, to quote the Ukrainian shoulder, we're lucky they're so fucking stupid. Amen. That's what I'm telling you, man. That is the message I want to give you. That is what I want you to take into your heart. Yeah, this whole thing was designed here. Let me see if I can. But you know what? I'm not going to be able to find it. It's on my phone, and I'm using my phone right now to stream this. There was a great, and I promise I will play it for you. I will play it for you in the next show. But it's a great TikTok about somebody that sat down with ChatGPT and said, you know, show me, let's back up big picture. Take a look. Tell me, ChatGPT, with everything that's going on, what is the strategy? And ChatGPT, tongue-tied all of a sudden, explained to her perfectly and eloquently. Well, not everything that's happening is going to stand because some of it's patently illegal. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. But the rate at which they're doing things and the way they're doing things, so nothing has to be debated, doing it through executive orders, is designed to make people feel overwhelmed. Yeah. That was their hope, to get into these budget negotiations with you feeling overwhelmed, with you feeling, and again, this is AI just telling her this. I'll play it for you in the next show. You feeling overwhelmed, you feeling like your representatives aren't doing anything and life is horrible and we're not going to survive this and the end is nigh. And it's not. It's not. They're losing in court. just because they want to destroy Medicaid doesn't mean Democrats are going to roll over and just let it happen. They aren't. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Some bad shit is going to happen. We don't control the House. There's a price to pay. And I got to tell you, as somebody that fought forever and fought against people that were saying really stupid shit in this election, there's a little bit of schadenfreude. Just a little bit. Glenn Kaneko, thank you for support. Message from Josh Weil, candidate for office in Florida special election, says his donations are down and he needs help to fund his campaign. Amen, brother. We're going to talk about the special elections more and more over the next several weeks. We've got no choice. We got to drown them in money, in volunteers. We got to have little old ladies in Washington State postcarding for Josh Weil in freaking Florida. That's what we need. That's what we need. It's up to us. It's up to us. I mean, you want to just keep doing this shit, giving Trump a blank check. And let me tell you something. This is how stupid they are. They fired VA employees. Yeah, they're desperate to go after the VA. They really are. They really are. There are people inside the Republican Party that are screaming, "No, you can't do that." And then there are people out of the Heritage Foundation that are like, burn it all down. Shrink it down to the size of a baby and drown it in the bathtub. Yeah. So yeah, they fired, I can't remember how many. I think it's like 3,400 or something like that. I don't remember the number. One of you will know it. How many VA employees just got fired? What do you think that's going to do to servicing veterans? Make things better? Nope. So yeah, that's my plan. Everybody's like, Paul, what's your plan? We got to do. That's my plan. I'm going to beat the shit out of them. I'm going to take my fact bat and I'm going to take the God's honest truth. And I'm going to point out every stupid, sorry, dumbass thing that they do. And I'm going to put it right in front of your face. And you're going to do everything you can to share it and get as many people to see it. 100%. We're going to take back the House, and then we're going to make Donald Trump wish he'd never come near the presidency again. I would not be surprised if that man doesn't die in office from stress. That's the plan. That's the plan. Yeah, Richard's a friend of mine. He's going to be coming on the show to talk about his campaign in 2026. We have a lot of really, really good Democrats. Really good Democrats that are going to be running. I'm not done. Are you done? I'm not done. I'm not done by a damn sight. But I tell you what I am done with. I am done with every dumb son of a bitch that sits on social media and takes every lousy, horrible thing that Republicans do and somehow finds a way to blame a Democrat for it. No, we Democrats spent forever protecting this shit. We did. We spent forever protecting this shit. They weren't rewarded for it. So yeah, I'm not going to blame them. I'm just not. I'm not going to blame people in the legislature for not being able to fight executive orders. Those are fought in court, and that takes time. I'm not going to hold Democrats responsible for not holding hearings that they cannot legitimately or legally call. You know, I had somebody fight with me about this the other day. They're like, well, they could go home to their districts and hold mock hearings in their districts. Really? Really? So you want them to leave Washington, D.C., so they reduce the number of people required to call a quorum, so Republicans can just ram shit through whatever the hell they want. That's your genius fucking plan? Everybody go home to your districts and just let the fucking Republicans pass any goddamn bill they want? You fucking genius? There goes my monetization. Thank you for supporting the show, because I ain't getting shit off ads. But that's how I feel, folks. That's how I feel. You know, Kathy Hochul is sitting there. She's going to white knuckle it for the next month and a half, and then she's going to fire Eric Adams. I think we can make it too. Love you, folks. That's what I have for you today. Got a few minutes left. If you got any questions or want me to expand on anything or talk about anything, shoot it at me. I am more than willing to sit here and talk about it. Gina? Shut it down to what goal? To do what exactly? Just to burn it down? Shutting the government down isn't going to push the court cases through the courts any faster. It's just not. And believe me, John Roberts is actually pissed off. If you want a little inside baseball, yeah, that's the discussion going on in DC right now, is the Trump regime doesn't understand who they're pissing off, how, and why. You know, we talked about Germany in the beginning of the show and their stupidity and pissing off Germany because they don't understand the stupid shit they say might play well on Fox News. But, you know, our good friends here will tell you in the audience, we have Europeans here. This is a global show. We have Europeans here and that will tell you they don't really frickin' appreciate Donald Trump trying to negotiate what happens in Europe. Thank you, Big Hook. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you, Beth. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate the support. I love you folks. Swear jar fun. Y'all are the best. Y'all are the best. Oh, man. Y'all are the best. But yeah, I mean, really, I'm not being ugly to you or anything. Shut it down to what end? I mean, do you really think they're going to go to Donald Trump and say, put everything back the way it was before you broke it, or the government stays shut down? The billionaires want it shut down. They do. We got to be smart about this. We have to be smart about this. Don't give them what they want. It's like I was talking about with protesting. Everybody's like, we got to hit the streets, man. We got to shut everything down in the streets and have mass protests. And I'm like, let's not. Let's not, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to break a window. They want you to set a car on fire. And if you won't do it, they'll have some piece of shit, right-wing extremist, bigoted boogaloo boy or proud boy or somebody else infiltrate your protest and do it for you so that they can start shooting your ass. And I don't need martyrs. I need resistors. I need people that you want to protest? I got a great protest for you. Take your wallet and close it and put it in your back pocket. Same effect. Same effect. It's just they can't shoot you for shutting your wallet. And guess what? That hurts their billionaire oligarchs. That causes the pain where it needs to go. Mary, thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Associated Press reported black businesses are having a harder time getting their products on retail shelves, disgusting the level we have sunk to. Absolutely. Yeah. Trump just wrote an executive order canceling EEO. Just, is it going to fly? No, because it's actual legislation and no president can do that. But effectively, he's just going to pretend he did until the courts tell him, no, we're a co-equal branch of government and you have to do what we say. In the meantime, let's not be the people sitting there saying Trump shut down the EEOC. So let's find out why that's Chuck Schumer's fault. Chuck Schumer wore the wrong color tie and did not look stern enough when he sat at a camera and said, that sucks. See you in court. Here, let me find you the article. So that you don't have to take my word for it. Trump just fired the EEOC staff. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. You know, when you're a bigot, the people that come tell you can't be a bigot, he fired all those people. The ones that take you to court and do the investigations and all that, that's who he fired. Thank you for the support, Jason Ray. I appreciate it. But yeah, that wasn't created by executive order. So no, it can't be removed by executive order. It's law. And fighting that's going to, they planned that. They planned it. That was part of the plan, is to make you feel like you're impotent, make you feel like you can't do anything, to make you feel deflated, to make you not want to participate, to make you compliant. That's the plan. Then they want, folks, start the fire and then pretend to be the fireman. How many times have we seen them do this? That's what they're going to do. Shortness 3000. Hey, new contributor. I really appreciate you being here. Have you heard about the death threats both Democratic and Republican Congress people are getting? Is there something that can rectify that situation? Ma'am, it's not just them. I have cameras inside my house, outside my house, out on my property. I have a gun within reach because I get those death threats too. They hate us. They do. The folks that like fascism will always be violent to try to get it. By definition, they don't like democracy. They don't. They just don't. So yeah, when your representatives tell you they're getting death threats, I know it's true because I get them too. I sure appreciate you guys. The contributions to the swear jar. Thank you, Pamela. I appreciate you. Because they're Republicans. Why did Murkowski and Collins cave on RFK and Gabbard? Because they're Republicans. Never forget that. This is the message that I have been pushing for people forever. Every time somebody would pin their hopes on, well, here comes Susan Collins. She going to do the right thing. She's from one of them districts. It's not hard right. No, she's not. She's going to furrow her brow and say, I'm concerned. And then she's going to vote exactly like she votes 98% of the time. And she's just going to comply. The only way we fight this is to take Republicans out of the government, period. Lisa Murkowski, same thing. You think she's like a really good person or something? No. Not even close. Not even close. You know, I'm what's up with that? I kind of disagree with you here. I don't think she's naive. I don't. I think she knows her shtick. She knows her act. It is to pretend to make a statement that I really don't like that Donald Trump is starving baby children all over the globe. And I just know, in my heart of hearts, I know that he's going to come around and do the right thing. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt by voting for everything he ever asked for and never holding him accountable for anything. Because in my heart of hearts, I know shit. Stephanie, yes, we need more Texas Paul in our lives. Amen, sister. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, baby. Yes, my wife watches the show. Chiron, I love your common sense, and unfortunately, it's not that common. You know, and I don't mean to be negative and shit all over our side. I don't. I really don't. I get it. I get that it was designed to make you feel overwhelmed. That was the plan. If you read the 2025 project, they told you it was going to be a blitzkrieg of executive orders. That way the Republicans and the legislature could go, we didn't do that. To break as much as they could possibly break, to set us as far back as they could possibly set us back. Okay, what did that teach us? All that petty shit, all of those things that we used to do. Well, I'm mad about this, and I'm mad about that. We ain't got time for it. We got to be ride or die, baby. Ride or die. That's what it means. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, $2 is $2, man. I know the value of $1. Somebody said something about Susan Collins and donations. There you go. Maybe Collins got a hard to ignore donation. Let me tell you a little something about Susan Collins. She's rich. I mean, really rich. When I talk about the broligarchs, I mean Susan fucking Collins. It's a shtick. It's an act. Spatial Dragon. I listen to you to make sure my backbone stays straight up and firm. Getting to the Democrats organized in my town. Amen. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, I love that. I was going to talk about that in the show today, but I didn't. Oh my God. England's son engaged in Booger Creek. Oh my God. That dude, that little X sitting there just, and then wiping it on the Resolute desk, man. And then telling Donald Trump that he's not the president. He needs to shut up. Man. That's what I'm telling you, folks. Trump is not strong. Could you imagine me? I'm a nice guy. But if I was doing my show and there was like a little kid sitting next to me, my neighbor's kid, and I'm doing my show and he's digging in his fingers and, you know, and then he's turning around saying, you don't know anything about politics, Texas Paul. You need to shut up. Get the hell out of here. I mean, do you think for 1 minute? And Trump just sat there and took it because he had to. Because he had to. And you saw from the video, he heard. Thanks for the support panel. I mean, that was just so freaking telling. He heard, man, that kid said, you're not the president. And Donald Trump went and looked right. I mean, he heard every word of it. Thank you, Deborah. How weak. And you know what's going to show you exactly how weak he is? That kid's going to be around again. And Elon Musk is still going to be around. Donald Trump ain't going to do shit about that. Nita Hansen. Remember when Trump criticized Obama for executive orders? I do. Very much remember that. More importantly, I remember that Republican voters used it as an excuse to do awful things, just like they're doing right now. They're killing kids. And what did they do? Every right-winger you talk about talks about, oh, U.S. aid was corrupt. It was corrupt. It was terrible. It was mismanaged and terrible. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You're just repeating that because that was the excuse they gave you so that you could support them killing children. Thank you, Mr. Schroeder, and all the people here. So proud to be part of this community. I'm glad to have you. I'm glad to have you. Hey, and I want to thank you. Oh my God. See this little tab right here? When you squeeze it, oh, it's a one-way vent. Oh, it smells so freaking good. Oh, thank you for the coffee. I got the flip coffee. I got the Kitty Town. Oh, I can't remember your name right now. I told myself I was going to remember your name. Damn it. I just got the biggest bag of Kitty Town pumpkin spice coffee. I mean, this thing is like this, man. I mean, it's huge. And it's ground too. It's not like a big bag of beans where you grind it down and you only get half as much. No. Thank you, folks. Y'all's generosity is insane. I am so grateful. I am so grateful to you. But look, inflation's going up. The executives are turning on them. I tell you what, go Google after the show Ford Motor Company. They are in full freak out mode after bending the knee. Jeff Bezos, have you heard or seen anything from Jeff Bezos? A word? Not a word. That guy crawled up underneath a rock and is hiding desperately because I don't know about you, but I'm not buying shit from Amazon. You want to lick Donald Trump's taint? I'm not funding you to do it. Glenn Allen, I can love Texas again. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. There are millions of me. I would like to pretend like I'm a one-off and I'm just a guy. Folks, millions of us here in Texas voted for Kamala Harris. Really, there's a lot of us. Dollar Straws, thank you for the support, my friend. Thank you so much for the coffee again. And I was just texting with Richard Ojeda. He's coming on. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about his campaign. We're going to do everything we can to help him out. He's a good man. Be great if we can get him into office. Mark, thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother. You know, a lot of people have been telling me about it. I don't know. And that mushroom stuff, I can't. Anybody tried the mushroom stuff? I don't know about that. I'd need like 10 people I trusted to tell me it was freaking amazing before I even tried it. Are you? Is it any good? Have y'all heard about this? What's the name of it? I can't remember. I'm calling it the mushroom stuff because I can't remember. Ariel, put it in chat if you would. This is a trend. It's a whole thing. People that try it, you know, you get the online testimonials like crazy. Yeah, I call it mushroom stuff. Ariel, tell us the name of it. As a Canadian, we need to apologize for the mass layoffs on the way due to boycotts. Sorry. No, you don't. We need to apologize. We need to apologize every damn day to you people. Donald Trump disrespecting your prime minister, and I'm sorry. I am truly sorry. It's not us. It's not us. Not that kind of mushroom, man. Not that kind of mushroom. There's a drink out that they're making mushroom coffee. It's like to replace your coffee. I don't remember the name of it, but it's I'll look it up. I will. I have been. No. Mud water. There you go. That's it. That's it. Mud water. That's right. Because I was like, what the hell, man? Why you're going to make a product that you want me to drink and you're going to call it mud water? But I swear, some people love it, man. And I've been wanting somebody I know to tell me about it that I could trust. One of you people tell me. I don't know. Tastes like chicory. I think I'll just drink me some chicory. Louisiana's right there. I get me some chicory. Some boudin and some chicory next time I go to Louisiana. All right. Rise. I'm seeing a lot of people that I think that may be what it's called. Rise. I know Mudwater's one, and then that one may be another one. So anyways, folks, look, do I have you on the balls of your feet? Are you off your heels? Are you understanding? There's no, oh, me too. Oh, I smoke it. Oh my God. If you folks have never had smoked boudin, oh my God. Oh, it's chicken and rice sausage is what it is, but they spice it up with, I put it up every time I smoke chickens. I smoke several pounds of boudin because, man, it's just so good. It is so good. All right, we got 1 minute left. Somebody come up with a good one. It is. It is freaking amazing. Boudin is amazing. Boudin. Not. It's pronounced boudin. It is, but it's chicken and rice sausage is what it is. It is really freaking good. It's got a crazy. When you bite it, it falls apart, but it. Oh. Yeah, Gina. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, though. I've been really amazed. I could maybe get behind a President Hochul. I could. She is showing such political chops. You know, she knows Andrew Cuomo is her enemy. She knows. I do. I respect a good political knife fighter. I really do. So she's going to white knuckle it out so that she can kneecap Andrew Cuomo and give a decent candidate that she supports a shot. I got to respect that. I mean, I got to respect that kind of spine. All right, folks. I appreciate you being here. I enjoyed spending time with you. Stay fired up. Let's do this. We're coming up on a special election. Get off your heels and go on the attack, man. Let's do this.